Sixthegoddis, more like Sixthegoddis. Rocking that cubic zirconia, looking hella flawless. Talking I'm married to the game, now you married to the lie. Green finger gangrene, that ring turning your skin to pie. You out here flexing like your love life platinum, but that's costume jewelry from the gas station, madam. Finger looking like Shrek after a swamp bath. Nickel allergy hitting, that's chemical warfare on your behalf. Claim you a queen, but your ring from Players Boutique. Turn your finger avocado, now it's giving guacamole cheek. Posting ring pics like he put a rock on it. Bitch, that's fool's gold. Even fools wouldn't cop it. Your ring so fake, it got AliExpress dust on it. Left a green ring like you finger banged the Hulk's armpit. Forever on your hand, more like to the plate and chip. 3 weeks in your finger looking like a moldy eggplant strip. You the type to propose to yourself at Ross and cry when the ring turn your knuckle to straight moss. Green finger flexing, call that gangrene glow. Whole hand looking like you lost a fight with Piccolo. Sixthegoddis, more like the green goblin. Ring so cheap it came with a side of salmonella toxin. Keep faking that marriage, we all see the tarnish. Your finger rotting faster than your fake ass. I do promise, drop the ring, drop the act, drop the whole facade. Even your blood cells filing for divorce from that fraud. Ring finger goddess, yeah, the title fits, cause the only thing real on you is that nickel rash, bitch. Mic drop, finger still green.
Peace and love, family. It's your girl, Sixthegoddis. And keep in mind, I'm a goddess and I'm sensitive about my shift. Mama, I made it. Mama, I made it. Okay. Now the Divestors don't made a diss track. Okay. I would like to thank the Academy. I would like to thank my mama for making me a bad bitch. Such a bad bitch to where I can literally exist. And these hoes getting in the studio. Okay. Like, I made it. I'm not even a rapper. They're making these songs about me. Ooh, so first of all, I've never laughed so hard. All right. Thank you. All right. I really needed that. Second of all, if you was mad before, get ready for this part 2, baby. You about to be mad. The Divestors are sick right now, y'all, because I'm clocking their tea. I'm spilling their secrets. All right. And a big part of how they survive is off of lies. All right. So they are crumbling right now because they are being exposed for the capping that they be doing for these white men, all on the internet. All right. Using these white men as your props and putting them all in our face and telling them how they're so this and so that. And y'all are lying. All right. And I have a part 2 to the Danish deception story. Now, I did a video a few days ago. If you have not checked it out, check it out. It's about the Danish deception. And in all, we were having a discussion about the Divestors and how they are truly thinking that proximity to that whiteness is better. And they are so determined to spread that narrative that they will even lie and deceive in order to make people think that. Now, The Bachelor is a messy show because why, when this Danish deception thing is going viral, why they gonna sit and have a clip that they don't put out that resurfaced of Anyeka? I hope I'm saying the name right. Anyway, so they gonna sit and clip and re-upload a very specific clip of Anyeka when she was on The Bachelor, and I shall not. This woman was quite literally going around to all the white men there on some like, does anybody want me, please? Anyone? So this conversation we're about to have is going to be a continuation of the Divestor lie. And it's also going to be a whole separate conversation on just self-worth in dating. We're going to be talking about what it looks like when you get so dead set on an image or a timeline that you've made up or a lifestyle that you've decided on in your head, and what your life will look like when you are in high pursuit of that as a woman, as opposed to aligning with what works with you and what is best for you. So I'm about to pull up this clip so we can take a look at this. And of course, we are going to break it down. Now, before I pull that up, let's pull up today's look. Can y'all? Do y'all? Oh. Okay, so ladies, I have a women's only Patreon in which I get ready for all of my content live, okay, from start to finish. So you see every product I use, every technique that I use. so on and so forth. And while I'm getting dressed, we have great conversations about all things related to a woman, womanhood, sisterhood, wifehood, girlhood, it doesn't matter. Many conversations, solution-oriented women that want to take accountability, want to advocate for themselves. We share information, women from all over the world, all different walks of life, all different religions, careers. It's a great network. We have get-togethers. We have movie nights. I have all type of exclusive content that I only post there behind that wall, okay? So if you are tired of being mean and ugly, you want to come over here and get these fitness tips, these recipes, learn how to cook, come on now. Come to Death Row, baby. I would love to have you. I also have a second separate Patreon called 6 at 6, in which I do a once a week live show. I react to different viral topics, different current events, stuff like that. It's just really like a once a week way we kind of tap in, laugh. And as for the fellas and the ladies in my women's group, you already receive access to the show. So you don't need to be in the 6 at 6 and the Sixthegoddis Patreon. Okay. So the link will be in the description to join me in both places. And I would love to have you. So I'm going to pull up this clip. Now, y'all already know how YouTube is. Okay. I ain't trying to play around with this. So I'm going to kind of show you all the scene. I'm going to kind of get y'all the visual on what's going on, but I'm going to be taking this off the screen periodically. And of course, giving my commentary, fair use. I am showing this clip in order to teach a lesson, YouTube. Okay. Don't be trying to demonetize my video. Okay. Rent is due. You know what I'm saying? So let me go ahead and pull this up and y'all have to see this. So this is Anyeka's exit from The Bachelor. Now, mind you, if you go on The Bachelor, it's pretty much a bunch of women vying for the attention and to be picked. It's like the pick me Olympics, to be honest. Okay. And especially when there's a white bachelor and then they put a few black girls in there just to like up the ante, and they actually show up and actually dehumanize themselves by participating in this. It really, really needs to be studied. So I'm going to pull this up. Let me see what the best way to do this. Can y'all see very well like this? Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and press play. Actually, let me make it bigger for a second so y'all can really understand what's going on here. And then I'm going to be, like I said, taking them off the screen. So this is her on The Bachelor. Let me start from.
Can I tell you something that I heard earlier this evening? We were at the table. It was me, Mike, and Christina. And when your name did come up, Mike's like, she's got a really cool vibe, but she's not really my type. But maybe you should go talk to Mike. Go talk to Kevin. Go talk to whoever you don't feel is coupled up in this moment, because I do want you to have a connection, but I'm also a realist. I don't want you to have a forced connection. So I'm not going to sit here and beg. If you have something like compelling in your heart that you want to give it to someone else, I'll respect that.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know who needs to hear this. This is just a side note, this little piece of game. If a man ever like tries to like push you into the arms of another man in any way, shape, or form, just pack it up. Just ooh-hoo. You know what I'm saying? Like ooh-hoo. There is nothing ooh-hoo. It's nothing more embarrassing. Like a man will never, like that's a man's worst nightmare if he's interested in you, is another man. Ooh. So a good way to tell that you probably barking up the wrong tree, trying to date outside your means, trying to force, the white men can tell you're fetishizing them. That's a good way to tell you're doing something wrong. When a man is like, no, like, I encourage you to go be with this other person or go check out this other situation. Like when they do that, I'm gonna hold your hand. It's time for you to sit down and reevaluate some things. A man, I don't care what, will figure it out if he's interested in you on how to make it happen. Okay. He will do whatever he got to do. So, you want a first sign that you're doing too much and that you are just misaligned and trying to force something is when men try to pawn you off to other men. Okay. So she's in this man's face, like begging for his validation. And he's like, maybe you should try someone else. That he's like, but they said they also are not interested in you. Like, putting yourself in this situation. Okay, let me press play. Let me press play. So now she said,
I just feel like I've been passed by every person here. I know I'm an awesome person. Why don't the guys think I'm awesome? I've been here for how long? I haven't had a single romantic connection. I'm like questioning why I'm here. Anyone here that's interested in me, please let me know. Like, literally, is there anyone?
Dude, I
Ooh. 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 Somebody, anybody want me? Oh, so cute. You know, and this is a form of self-sabotage as well. To get on the internet, to get in front of millions of people and do this, because even like after this, what man wants to sit and wife up the world's most desperate woman that literally got online and was like, somebody, anybody, do any of y'all want me? That's a form of self-sabotage and shooting yourself in the foot. So when we fast forward to the Danish deception story, a lot of what happened in that story is now making sense. Okay. She was on the clearance reduced rack times 10, and no man ever literally texted her back or wanted her. So by the time that Calvin Klein model even looked her way, a lot more is making sense now as to why she paid so heavily for that man. Like a lot is making sense on why she moved the way she moved. And it's so interesting. This was years ago. We fast forward. Danish deception just happened last month. And what do we see? That the program was undefeated. You try to pick a man. You trying to put a man into your program. You deciding the type of man that you want. And it's going to look like this. And it's going to happen at this time. So you did all of that. Got to the point where you was even willing to pay for it all, just to end up right back in the same space because the program is undefeated, because you pedestalize and idolize the white man, and it's gotten you nowhere. And now you're shooting yourself in the foot. Clearly, it's already hard for you to get a date. Clearly, it's already hard for you to get a man to be interested in you. And to self-sabotage even further, now you will be known as the girl on the internet that quite literally was like, do any of y'all want me? Do any of y'all want me? You saltine, you Ritz cracker, you butter cracker, do any of these Ritz crackers want me? I'll even take an oyster cracker. Embarrassing. Instead of just living your life and enjoying your life. And a big way to tell that you are not too good for a man is take yourself, put yourself in a beard and a hat. Okay. And whatever that looks like, that's the man for you. You are not allowed to turn down and look down on a man that is exactly the type of man you would be if you was a man. Okay, everybody wants Mr. Tall, dark, and handsome, but you are a regular girl. Now all of a sudden you don't want the regular black man or a regular man at all half of the time. It doesn't work that way. You need to be willing to want the man that is the male version of you. Whatever the male version of you is, that is what you are for. Okay. You're not allowed to be like, I'm an average girl, but I don't want the guy who's an average looking guy or an average height or an average size or an average salary. No, that is your reflection, which goes back into this type of behavior as a part of self-hatred. You don't want your reflection. You don't want the man that is you in male form. That ain't what you want. So you'd rather go hunting for the whites and go this far. You'd rather do this. Which makes no sense. But let's just finish watching the clip.
I hate seeing you cry. The same girls are going on the same dates, and the same girls are being pursued by the same guys. It makes me feel super envious because I wish someone would make me feel that special.
And girls like Anyeka are so dangerous to have around you. You saw what she said. Oh, she's jealous that she's not getting someone else's treatment and someone else's life and someone else's result. And those women that can't keep their eyes on their own paper and they constantly unhappy with what they got because they looking over what the next woman got, keep them away from you, keep them out your house, and most importantly, keep them away from your man. Women like Anyeka will fuck your man. And I know it sounds weird, but not even on some intentionally malicious type of time. But women like Onyeka with your man because they're heterosexual, they're women, they have the innate desire for certain interactions with men that they can't get, or at least not with the men that they want or that they think they should be with. So if you have her third wheeling and hanging around with your man all at your house, your man becomes the only man in her life that she has ever consistently communicated with. You see what I'm saying? Every other man has maybe one date with her or no date with her, maybe sleep with her once and twice, and then they're gone. So now your man becomes the only man that she has a consistent communication with, a consistent relationship with. And all it's going to take is for one right time or moment, and she will have them legs spread wide open for him. Because why? Again, I know it sounds weird, but not necessarily proactively malicious, but because the heart don't know the difference. She's a woman. All she knows is she now has a man who is giving her consistent attention, communication. Doesn't matter if it's your man. Okay. And when it itches that scratch inside of her, nature may take over and her ancient ways may take over. So women like Onyeka, keep them away from you, keep them away from your home, and keep them away from your man. Okay. And nobody will suspect someone like her. Typically, they like to see women who are more attractive and be like, ooh, keep her from your man. Oh, please. She get her man, your man, and everybody else, man. She don't care about that. No, it's like, Onyeka, you need to keep away from your man. That average girl that seems so nice and no. Now that's who you do worry about. Okay. And women like her cheat. Yes, they do. Because any man that give them attention, they just cannot help but indulge. Okay. So that type of girl is the real problem. Okay. Everybody think the baddie is the problem. No, women like her are the real problem. And if you know, like I know, you will keep them away from you and your man. They are very envious. Okay. They get very dense, dead set, almost delusional on a certain image in their head. Okay. And once they get that in their head, they cannot be trusted.
Like, I should throw my rose in the ocean.
Tonight, I am fairly confident that I'll be getting a rose from Anyeka. She's a good friend of mine, and it is kind of awesome to have an ally here in paradise.
So I came here with the highest expectations.
If a man call you his friend, my God. Another way to tell, you got to go back and reevaluate. You got to go figure things out. Okay, ain't no man your friend for real. I don't call no man my friend. Ain't no point. I know you could think you're my friend. Okay, and the minute that I had even an inkling of what to go take you down, he's going for it. So that means you're not a friend. Friends are platonic. Okay, friends are not sleeping with each other. So there's no such thing as that. So the fact that these men are trying to pawn her off on someone else, friend zoning you as a woman, a man, friend zoning you is crazy. Okay, a man friend zoning you is ultimate failure. If a man friend zoned me, I would just never be seen or heard from again. It would get no worse than that. Okay, a friend zone? No, you're supposed to be like every other man and pretend to be my friend. But deep down inside, the minute I even wanted the D, be ready to give it to me, be out like this before I can even finish my sentence. That's how attractive women have male friends. But a man who is dead ass your friend, ew. If a man is dead ass your friend, you ugly. Okay. So not him saying, yeah, you know, she's a great friend. Ooh, there will be signs.
I really wanted to meet someone here, and I've been pretty unhappy here, and it's been for a while. And
I'm sorry, but this is giving me the highest levels of cringies I've ever had. Oh my God, this is like a spell that you're putting on yourself, Anyeka. You constantly getting in front of these white men and begging them, you are just conducting the highest level of spiritual warfare on yourself, sweetie. This is not getting you nowhere. This is extremely unhealthy. Okay? This is the most extreme control issues. Who even wants someone that doesn't want them? Okay? When you're a woman doing your thing, you're doing your thing. Okay? You want the man that wants you. You're not over here trying to use a husband as a prop for some type of credit or some type of use, you're not out here paying for and taking care of a man for the sake of image and just to say you have a man. No. Healthy women are very focused on their respect. Okay. Anybody who abuse or disrespect can go. They're not going to care about the image. They're not going to care what your mammy or your daddy says. No. Her first thing is her self-respect. And that's the lesson that you need to learn. Oh, yeah. Okay. You got to stop with this. You got to stop wanting people that don't want you. This weird limerence energy. And it's really rooted in severe control. Okay. And a lot of those girls who are scholarly girls, the girls that went to school, spent most of their life in the books and shelter, they suffer from this because they are very used to having an action and having a result. You study for your test and then you get an A. You get an A and you get your degree. You get your degree, you get your career. They're used to handling their life like that. That's why some of them bookworm bitches may not be good to deal with because they have control issues most of the time. They are very matter of fact in their life. They tend to not know. They're not necessarily creatives. They tend to not really know how to just let something go and let the chips fall where they may and accepting what's for you in life. No, they are very used to, I did this, so I get that. I did this many credits, so I get this degree. I did this much work, so I get this promotion. And it becomes very difficult for those type of women to have that translate outside of school and career. Okay. But it's like, Anyeka, this is extremely unhealthy. And you're doing all this because you so desire to be able to have a white man to hold up to the world to say, I've made it because look, this white man wants me. Women like this who have the complete inability to self-validate, my God, today, this is cringe. And as a Black woman, I don't care that she's not FBA or whatever. As a Black woman, watching another Black woman sit in front of these white people and beg like this hurts my stomach. My tummy hurt. You know, this is a very hard watch. And I'm not even really, this is so cringe. I'm not even really saying this to roast her. Like, this is dead ass, like, hurtful to me to see a woman be to that low, like, stand up. And to see any of my sisters do that, especially to the white man, is like, ooh, you know, baby, you have a lot of work to do. And this was a long time ago. So to see how you have not gotten better, but you've gotten worse says a lot.
I can't give out a rose to anyone tonight. And I'm really sorry.
Sure?
I'm very sure. I love you all, girls and guys. I've met like amazing friends, and so I am not leaving here with nothing. So
I'm sorry to see you go.
thank you.
You want to say goodbye to everybody?
Yeah.
Okay.
I love you.
Look at Brad.
You too. Bye, guys. I love you guys.
Bye, Anyeka.
So essentially, by her begging like this, it was the same way you begged that white man to stay. It's the same exact thing. Because you don't care if it's right. You don't care if it's healthy. You don't care if it's reciprocal. You care about getting the desire. You care about getting the outcome that you feel you deserve. You don't care if it's okay. That's what I say by keep girls that away from your man. They don't care if it was moral. They don't care if it was right. They don't care if it's healthy. They want what they want. And no man, women like this often will, of course, men are only going to be with you for money and stuff like that because a man would never trust a woman like this. Okay? You are too easy. Okay? You're too desperate. All right. A man wants somewhat of a challenge. My God. Nobody wants to be with someone who is willing to lower themselves that direction. All right. The reality is the world has done a number on us as Black people, no matter where you're from, whether you in Africa, whether you here, whether you in the UK, it does not matter. Okay. The system has, you know, done a lot on us as a people. We've never been in an age of information the way we are now to be able to share stories and similarities and clock patterns and have information be spread so much easily, so a lot easier. So now we're in this place we've never been in, where typically that's been our culture as a people. As long as you got clothes on your back and food in your belly and money in your pocket, you're doing fine. And we never had these deep down discussions about relationships and alignment. And it's time we have those talks. And there is a lot of mental illness, a lot of trauma that is just rampant through our community. I did a video the other day about Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson was talking about how DEI, it has been in effect for 2 years. And he was immediately clocking about how it would affect young white men. Immediately. Young white men have now been oppressed for 90 days. And the white male community is already coming forward, speaking on its effects. So then you have us, hundreds of years of slavery, Jim Crow, and the worst types of dehumanization. And we honestly think that we're like the first generation free. Notice I'm saying free like this. We're like the first free generation as the millennials for real. And we think that we're about to just go out there and get a man. And it's just go out there and get one. Absolutely not. You got issues. He got issues. Ooh, there's a lot that has to be worked through. All right. So it's a new thing. So that's why women should not be in their masculine. A man does that. A man can say, I want this kind of wife. I want this kind of money. I want to live in this kind of place. And that's the man's superpower, to take something from nothing and turn it into what he wants it to be. Whereas that is not our superpower. Our superpower is more so in being multipliers, not from ground zero creators. You see what I'm saying? So when a woman decides, I want this kind of man and this kind of job and this kind of lifestyle, you're going to be unhappy most of the time, as opposed to paying attention to, your life, your environment, your personality, what's for you, what's not for you. Okay. Knowing yourself in that way and being patient and saying, it's not about who got it first. It's not about who got it the loudest. And being more focused on what is healthy and fulfilling in your real life. At the end of the day, Anyeka, you, like many divestors, especially like this pussy asshole that made this diss track on me, all y'all care about is your image with a man on the internet. And that's why y'all will come out of hibernation and let me trigger you and go get in the studio and make a diss track, because your truth got clocked. You think that we can't tell that you're covering for these white men, sweetie. I'm going to hold your hand with a glove because you've been sleeping with that white man, so you may have lice and fleas. So I'm going to hold your hand with a glove and a mask when I tell you this, but we can tell. We can tell when you overcompensate, putting them on the internet. We can tell when you cap it online and all smiles. We could tell by the look in his eyes. And we could tell most of all because he's a colonizer. So I don't care what image you're showing us. We know what his true nature is. Okay. Y'all be getting off left and right. And at the very least, when y'all get off left and right from them, y'all don't even get no justice, because who you going to call? His people and his system to hold him accountable. And instead of y'all being mad and continuing to pay for and cover for the whites, how about y'all just look inside and change? How about y'all be quiet? There goes an idea. How about y'all that hate yourself so bad to where you want to get with a man and go behind enemy lines? That literally is the inception place of everything negative and violent on this earth. And my thing is, if you want to go do that, if you want to go be with men who don't bathe properly. See, Black men was raised by Big Mama that made them use washcloths, made them shower every day, made them brush their teeth. Black men already know. But you want to be over there with the men that never bathed? You want to go over there with the men that don't use washcloths? You want to go over there with the men with dirty feet? You in the bed with them with dirty feet? Come on. But why not be quiet about it? Why not mind your business? Why not stay kind of bitches like me face always mad at me because the truth is being told about y'all? Like, I'll be honest with you. Any woman, black, white, or purple, dating any man, black, white, or purple, who put a man all in the camera in our face about how he's so great, I already know it's some BS. But even worse when it's a Black woman trying to convince us that these men are better when their own women are running from them and hate them in droves. Okay, they just have a certain level of staying on code. All right. unless you are living as a woman, you should be dilly-dallying and frolicking through life. You should be taking your L's in silence. You should not be internalizing the behaviors or acts of people around you as it being your fault or that you can do something about it. That goes into the control issues that many Black women have. Okay. In my Patreon, we watched a movie years ago now. Wow, we've been in this group for a while. Years ago now, we watched a movie called Memoirs of a Geisha, and it's a great movie I think every woman should watch. At the end of the movie, she speaks about how she was happy with her life. She said, "My life is happy and fulfilled for a geisha or for the cards I was dealt." And ultimately, as a girl, that's when you reach true happiness. When you no longer go off of the image or what everyone says it has to be. When you align yourself with what's right. When you are patient. When you're a woman who is healthy and enjoying her life, pouring into others, your femininity, going to the gym, eating right, being kind to people, looking out, uplifting your fellow sister, uplifting your fellow man. When you're operating like that, the lifestyle meant for you will fall into your lap. And it won't be insecure. You won't have to defend it. You won't have to prove it online. You won't have to get in the studio, make a diss track. You won't have to go on dating shows. And those are the women who are baddies. Those are the women who are at peace. They know how to be happy with who they are, where they are. They know how to love themselves. They know how to stay on code. And most importantly, they do not want a result. Okay. They want healing. They want happiness. They want fulfillment. Not a result or a picture or a video or image for social media. So it's interesting, Anyeka. I hope you really sit back, because I can tell that you probably won't grow like most women won't. You probably won't grow because, again, this was a while ago and you're still to this day now you're paying for men that you only expose because he wouldn't want to be with you. But I hope that maybe after this data deception situation that you can really have that moment and be like, wow, all of this literally got me nowhere. I am back at square one. And maybe that could be your moment to kind of humble you and start to be more aligned in your life, baby girl, instead of forcing things to prove a point out of hurt or something like that. Anyeka, your man is about 5'7", maybe 5'8". Okay. He wears glasses. He wears slacks with brown shoes. Okay. He wears a sweater. He has a number 1 all over with a slightly messed up hairline. He doesn't have any ears pierced. He maybe has a watch. Okay. He goes to work. He comes home. Like, that's your guy, right? He looked like you, but with khakis. You had a mustache and khakis. That's your guy. So when those guys are coming for you, you're not allowed to be like, oh no, I want the white boy. You cannot do that. Your life is going to be unhappy, and no one defeats the program because you're trying to force a life result rooted in self-hatred and resentment. So it ain't gonna work that way. So I'm hoping, sis, that you can stop blaming everyone else like you did in your Danish deception. And there's many Anyekas out here. Don't get it twisted. I'm not just specifically speaking to her. There's many girls like her out here. But I'm hoping that instead of you doing this story, try to play the victim and have people feel bad for you, I'm really hoping that you can take this opportunity to really look within and do some self-reflection and do some self-change. You need to take a deep breath. Breathe in, breathe out, because this is embarrassing and there is nowhere lower it gets than this. So y'all, please let me know y'all thoughts about this in the comments. Do y'all like the diss track about me? How would y'all feel? Was y'all vibing to it? I've made it. Once the diss tracks come, y'all officially can't tell me nothing. My head can't fit through the door. All right. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see y'all on the next one.